It's getting more obvious that the legislators are getting more aware that we have a lot of people behind the wheel who are not qualified to do so. What with numerous House bills being filed, which are almost similar to each other, to ensure that we have better trained, well-prepared, and qualified drivers in our streets. Surigao del Norte Representative Congressman Ace Barbers recently introduced House Bill 4311, which aims to regulate and instill discipline among drivers. We have him here now on Motoring Today to give us more insights into this new legislation. Good evening, Congressman Barbers, and welcome to Motoring Today.
Good evening, Butch, and to all the viewers of Motoring Today.
Mr. Congressman, you have recently proposed House Bill 4311, or the Roadworthy Driving Seminar for All Drivers Act. To begin with, can you briefly give us an idea of the rationale behind this proposed bill?
Well, it is already mandatory for all those who would like to secure a license, a driver's license, to undergo seminars and examinations. But in this particular bill, what we wanted to happen is that we should conduct a renewal as well of the knowledge that they learned during the time that they secured their licenses. Meaning, I think there should be a refresher course, no? Again, among the drivers, those that will renew their licenses and those that will secure a new one, to undergo a intensive seminar as well as actual driving skills examination. This is to further educate our motorists, our drivers, both from private and public utility vehicles, to be educated, and about traffic laws and traffic signs, as well as be refreshed, on the safety and discipline in handling their vehicles or in driving their vehicles in our roads.
There is also a proposed legislation quite familiar to this one, which is House Bill 1320. As a matter of fact, we had one of its authors, Congressman Gus Tambunting, last month to explain that particular bill. Can you tell us, how does this bill of yours differ from House Bill 1320?
Well, I'm glad that a colleague of mine, Congressman Tambunting, has also proposed a bill, with respect to disciplining our drivers. Let's admit it that sometimes there are drivers who we may call as pasaway, because they drop off passengers in an area that is not designated as drop-off points. They also pick up passengers from any part of the road that are not considered or designated to be as pick-up points. Other than that, they stop in the middle of the road. They cut drivers that are on queue, especially if there's traffic. There are a lot of drivers that you'll feel annoyed, by some of the drivers. Instead of lining up because of traffic, what they do is they overtake you and pass through the other lane or counter flow. So which is quite a bad indication that there is no discipline among some of our drivers. So the difference between my bill and the bill of Congressman Tambunting is that this particular House Bill 4311 specifically mandates the renewal, the undergoing of a refresher course by all drivers who are renewing their licenses to be updated, informed, and educated about traffic laws, the new traffic laws, educated as well on traffic signs, and most importantly is the discipline, no? Discipline among the drivers. So this particular bill talks of undergoing a mandatory roadworthy seminar and actual driving test to new applicants for licenses and those that are going to renew their licenses. So medyo comprehensive itong bill na ito.
Part of your bill requires passing the 30-minute actual driving test. How would this differ from the same practical test being conducted by the LTO for driver's license applicants?
You know, we all know that there are cases where there's no actual driving test that is being conducted, especially in far-flung areas. No, this is happening, no, all over the country. There are places where the inspector just certified that Juan de la Cruz passed the actual driving test. This one, we're going to make it more stricter, and there has to be some sort of a documentation as to how an applicant or a driver that is going to renew his license undergo this refresher course. There should be some sort of a documentation which we will ask the implementing agency to conduct. No, I don't know how it's going to be done. I suggest that it will be done by the LTO before they actually, or maybe there's a video. We don't know. I mean, let's leave it up to the implementing agency on how they're going to implement this.
Relative to this bill, where and how do you intend to get experts as resource persons in preparing the seminar and conducting the driving tests?
Those that will conduct these driving seminars and actual driving tests must be done by professional drivers, those that possess professional driver's license, those that undergo or those that passed a professional driver's skills test and have been certified by reputable driving school. Again, we will just leave it up to the LTO as to how they will choose the lecturers or those that will conduct these seminars.
Tell us, is the LTO the assigned government agency, or are there any private institutions to conduct these?
Again, of course, this is going to be mandated, no, by virtue of this law. If this law becomes this bill becomes a law, I suggested in this particular bill that the head agency, that is the Land Transportation Office, must do and must conduct, must do and must come up with implementing rules and regulations on this particular House bill if this eventually becomes a law. So everything, we will rely on the expertise of the LTO officials.
Thank you very much for your time, Congressman Ace. Before we end, do you have any message to our viewers?
Well, my only message, first of all, is we have to really instill discipline among all our drivers, both in the public and in the private sector. Why? Because lives are at stake. Two, traffic, which is already now a terrible situation in the country, must be resolved because we tend to lose billions of pesos every single day that our cargoes, goods, passengers are caught in a traffic jam. So one way of solving this problem is really to instill discipline. And I hope all the different sectors of our transport groups will somehow find a way to support this particular bill. I know it will become a controversial proposal because people would say this is going to be an added cost to those that are applying for licenses. This will be a burden to those who cannot afford. This will be just a waste of time. All these criticisms will come. But at the end of the day, what we want to achieve in this particular bill is to instill discipline, educate our drivers, and of course maintain order and safety in our roads. So that's about it.
Thank you once again, Mr. Congressman.
Thank you, Butch, and happy motoring.
Insights into House Bill 4311 or the Roadworthy Driving Seminar for All Drivers